Welcome to Tai Chi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at your waist, turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. Extend those arms. Turn at your hips and waist to look at the heel of your opposite foot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful. Shift your weight. Kick your foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up your span, parallel feet, choose one side, cross it on that side. Good Tai Chi posture, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift your weight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good Tai Chi posture for a good golden cockerel. Opening up your span, tucking your butt, taller your chest, chin slightly down, growth a little taller through your spine. Shift your weight up, golden cockerel. Last set. Kicking out. Shift weight. Center. Counterbalance. Follow your kick with your eyes and your hands. Set. Holding your ball on a T stance, root down on the back or right foot. Head straight up, here we go. Out on an L, part the wild horse's mane, get a good stretch. Sit back and lower. Pivot, form your ball on a T, out on an L, move that energy out to the tips of your finger. Sit back and lower, pivot, root down on a T, out on an L, get a good bow stance. Sit back and lower, pivot, ball and T, out on an L, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, lower, pivot, parallel higher on a T. Ear, heel, hand, turn your hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, parallel higher on a T. We're going to multitask to brush our knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, parallel high. Ear, heel, hand, turn, hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, parallel higher on a T. Ear, heel, hand, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, lower, hold your ball on a T stance. We're going to grasp the bird's tail. Out on an L, push your opponent away. Turn your hips and waist, reposition your hands, sit down, look back, turn, contact, push in the center of your body, separate and roll back, make yourself small, spiral up, spiral forward. Sit back, lower, pivot, holding your ball on a T stance, out on an L, push your opponent away, turn your hips and waist, reposition your hands, sit down, sit back, look back, contact, turn, push out, roll back, make yourself small, and spiral forward, power out. Sit down, sit back, pivot, cup, T stance, hook out into the side, single whip. Sit down, sit back, pivot, cup, cloud hands. Shift weight. Use your hips and waist. Last rotation. Middle, hook, T out, single whip. Half step forward, sit back, pat your horse. On your toe, cross at the wrist, step out to the left, heel down, hands down, shift weight, kick out with your right. In, drop gently on your L stance on your heel, look through your double punch. Sit back, pivot, spin, left hand, left foot up, kick out with your left. In, hook, toe in line with your heel, drop, down, out, veer to the left, serpent, up, golden cockerel. Toe down, pivot, hook, high enough, split, down, veer to the right, suspend, up, golden cockerel. Extend the knee on a L stance, heel down, hold your ball. Heel out, spin the ball, right hand on the forehead, turn hips and waist, maiden shuttles on her right. Sit back, lower, pivot out, hold your ball. L stance, heel, left hand on the forehead, turn hips and waist, maiden on her left. Half step to the back. Reposition your hand, needle to the bottom of the C. One hand, two hands, send your foot, touch, extend the knee, flush arms like a fan. Sit back, lower, pivot, fist on your toe, sweep out, parry, and punch. Touch, open your fingers, roll back, spiral forward, power out. Sit back, lower, pivot, open pivot, in pivot, off the ground, up, in, push out, palms down. How do you drop? Drop your shoulders, drop your elbows, wrists, flex your knees as you now close your form. Okay, something I want to correct right now, okay? So, closing form. Sit back, lower, pivot, open pivot, in pivot. Right about here now, so you see what I do with my hands? And then I come up. Can we try that? And then right here now, bring it in, then push it out. Okay? 2 little modifications that mean a lot. All right? So, how are we gonna do this? This way, and then I'll turn around, okay? On a T step, we're gonna grasp the bird's tail. Out into an L, push your opponent away. Turn your hips and waist, reposition your hands, sit down, lower, turn at your hips and waist, contact. Push only in the center of your body, push out, separate, roll back, make yourself small, power up, power out. Sit back, sit down, lower, pivot, open pivot, in pivot, off the ground, right here, embrace the tiger, up, bring it in slightly, push out using your core, Separate, haughty drop. Hands go for the ride. Okay, hands go for the ride. Closing form. Okay, two modifications that mean a lot. So just to reinforce, sit back, lower, pivot, open pivot, in pivot. Tuck the right hand, bring it up, bring it in, push out. Drop your shoulders, make yourself small, flex your knees, hands go for the ride, close your form, okay? All right. Let's review what we learned last week, which is a lot, okay? So we will start at high pad on the horse, because that still needs to be reviewed, okay? So to get into high pad on the horse, we're going to finish up doing cloud hands, okay? So cloud hands is one that we can start, okay? Left hand higher, weight on the right, okay? Weight on the right, out, middle, 9 o'clock. Use your hips and waist. Flip the hands, close the feet. Middle, stem and cup. 3 o'clock, two things happen, middle or cup. 9 o'clock, two things happen, middle or cup. 3 o'clock, two things happen, use your hips and waist. Third rotation, stem and cup at 12, T stance, hook, out, L, turn the palm out, second single whip. Half step forward, sit back, on your toe now, lift up the toed foot, pat your horse going up his mane, cross at your wrist, step out to the left on your heel, gather energy, right hand, right foot up, kick out, in line, in, drop gently on your heel, look through your double punch. Sit back, lower, pivot all the way around, left hand, left foot up, kick out, in line, hook, toe down, make sure that it's in line with your heel, down, halfway, veer to the left, set, up, golden cockerel. Toe down, spin, higher hooked hand, split, down, veer to the right, suspend, up, golden cockerel. Extend the knee, hold your ball, out with your heel, spin it, up with your right hand, push out with your left. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, hold your ball, out with your heel, left hand on the forehead, push out with your right. Half step to the back. Cross your hips and waist, needle to the bottom of the seat. One hand, join it with the next, then your foot, touch, heel, flush arms like a fan. Sit back, lower, pivot, fist, left hand goes down, fisted hand comes up on your toe. Spin out with a deflect, bring it in with a parry, and then a punch. Touch, open your hands, roll back, spiral up and forward. Make your corrections, sit back, lower, pivot, open pivot, in pivot, embrace by turning your palms out, unflex those knees, rise up to your chest, bring it in, push out. Palms down, drop your shoulders, make yourself small. As you now close your form. Okay, so this is what we're up against, where you need to be need some help to see, you can't see because we're turning and spinning, okay? And we can't hold our balance. Cloud hands. See on my T, hook, out, L, single whip. Half step forward, sit back, high pad on the horse. When Maiden works her shuttle, she has the one hand above her head and she's shuttling, meaning she's working on her weaving loom and she's moving her shuttlecock, not opening the shutters of the window, okay? So, remember I said out on an L, left hand goes on the bottom, then turn your hips and waist, the hand goes for the ride. So if we can just understand what I'm trying to teach you now, out on an L, left hand on the top, turn the hips and waist, she shuttles on the left. Extend the knee, hold your ball. Out on an L, spin, shuttle, right. Sit back, lower, pivot out, hold your ball. Left foot, left hand, up, turn, shuttle right. That's all I want you to learn. So what did I emphasize? I emphasized that the hand that comes up doesn't stay here, but comes above here, right? And the palm is out. But the other hand that pushes out only gets there when I turn my hips and waist. I do not, wait, what am I doing? I do not move my hand there. I turn my hips and waist, it gets there, right? Did you see that? Do you need to see it again? If I'm holding my ball here, left foot ready to go, left hand, bottom hand advances, take an L, turn the hand up here, turn my waist. When I turn my waist, I could be here, but my hand swings all the way out because I'm using the power of my hips and waist to bring it out. Okay? So that one needs practice, okay? And you can practice right now, then take it home and see if you can use a mirror and see whether your hands do go for the ride. All right? We're facing the, what are we facing? Golden cockerel stands on its right, facing that corner door there, okay? Extend the knee, hold your ball. Out with your heel, spin, right hand on the top, turn your hips and waist, maiden on her left, right. Sit back, sit down, slightly pivot out, hold your ball. Out on an L, spin the ball, left hand on the forehead or above the head, maiden on her left. Okay, so let's try it this way now, okay? Because this is the way we can see what's going on. Facing the parking lot, angle to the door, golden cockerel stands on its right. Extend the knee, hold your ball. Out with your heel, spin, top, turn hips and waist, maiden on her right. Sit back, lower, slightly pivot out, hold your ball. Out with your heel on an L, turn, rotate the ball, left hand on the forehead, spin above the head, maiden on her left. Sit back, sit down. I guess we can't do that, okay? One more time. Up on your golden cockerel on its right. Extend the knee, hold your ball. Out with your right heel, spin the ball above your head, turn the hips and waist, shuttle right. Sit back, slightly pivot out, hold your ball. Out with your heel, turn your ball or spin the ball above your head, turn hips and waist, maiden on her left. Half step to the back. Across your hips and waist, set up the top hand, needle to the bottom of the C. One hand, join it by the second, then your foot, heel out, touch, flush your arms like a fan. Let's practice turn deflect. Sit back, lower, pivot, fist, Hand down, hand up on a toe. Spin out with a deflect. Bring it in with a parry. And a punch. And a touch. And a roll back. Flash arms like a fan right where you are. Flash arms like a fan. Sit back, lower. Pivot. One fist up, down and up on your toe. Spin out with a deflect. And a parry. And a punch. And a touch. Roll back, lower. Spiral up and forward. Getting ready for another flash arms like a fan. Sit back, lower, pivot, fist, hand up, hand down on the toe, spin out on a deflect, then in with a parry, and then a punch, and a strip, and a roll back, and a spiral forward. One more time. Flash arms. Sit back, lower, pivot, fist up, hand down on the toe, deflect to the right, and parry and punch. Touch, open your fingers, roll back, sit down. Spiral up, power forward. Sit down, sit back. Pivot, open pivot, in pivot. Get that cross, but show me your palms as you rise up. Chest level, bring it in, push out. Separate, drop your shoulders, elbows, wrists, flex your knees. As you now close your phone. Okay, so you're gonna have to study the playback on the videos to get that angle that you need, okay? You're gonna have to remember that you're constantly shifting your weight, and you then constantly recall to yourself and ask yourself, are your hands going for the ride, okay? If for any reason you say, hey, my hands are not going for the ride, I'm pushing my hand there, I'm using my force instead of the mind, then go back and understand and see whether what you're hearing and what you're seeing match what you're doing, and constantly go back and forth like that. It's not easy, okay? And even for me, I know that I still have improvement to do, but I'm giving you what I have now, okay? So if you can work with me, I think that would be easier in the long run. Commencing form now, even when you part the wild horse's mane, it should be a little better than what you can do in the 10 form. How can it be better? How can it be better? Good question. When you part the wild horse's mane, you know where the energy is and you know how to dispense it. You also know that while this forward hand is, this forward section is going out, the other one is going down. It's like a counterbalance. Can we just try that and see if you can get the sensation that I'm trying to point out? We're on a T, holding our ball in good Tai Chi posture. Out on an L, move that ball, part the wild horse's mane, get a good stretch. Sit back. We're starting actually, sit down, pivot out, ball for better balance, out on an L, part the wild horse's mane. Left hand goes down, right hand comes out, good, a good stretch. Sit back, sit down, lower, pivot out, hold your ball, L stance, move that ball, up and down, get a good stretch. Half step forward, hold your ball, spin it to the left, lift up the hand, lift up the foot, white crane, spreads its wings. Right at this point, there's an up and a down core muscle sensation, pointing on your left, but stretched out your knee. Drop your front foot, bisect, look back. All together, Ear, hand, heel, turn hips and waist, brush knee. Sit back, lower, pivot out, parallel higher on a T. Ear, heel, hand, turn hips and waist, brush knee 2. Sit back, lower, pivot out, parallel higher, ear, heel, hand, turn hips and waist, final brush knee. Half step forward, sit back, rock your front foot, play your lute on your heel. Center the front hand, rise the back hand higher as you glance, lift up, ear, toe, heel, meet in the center as you repulse 1. Center, higher glance, lift up, ear, toe, heel, pivot 2. Center, higher glance, lift up, ear, toe, heel, repulse 3. Center, higher, lift, make that modification, final repulsing of the monkey. Hold your ball on a T-stance. Grasp the bird's tail, out with your heel, ward off. Turn hips and waist, reposition hands, sit down, lower, look back, contact, turn, push, separate, roll back, spiral up and forward. Sit back, lower, pivot, holding your ball on a T-stance, out on an L, push your opponent away. Turn your hips and waist, sit down, sit back, look back, turn, push in the center, roll back, sit down, spiral up, then forward. Sit down, lower, pivot, cup, 9 o'clock. 2 things happen. Flip the hands, T, cup, hook, out on an L, single whip. Sit down, sit back, pivot, cup, 3 o'clock. 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Middle, 3 o'clock, 2 things happen. 2 things happen at 9. T-stance, cup, hook, out on an L, second single whip. Half step forward, sit back, rock the front foot, up on its toe, high pat on the horse. Cross, step out with your heel. Gather energy up, right hand, right foot, out, in, extend the knee, heel down, look through your double punch. Sit back, lower, pivot, left foot, left hand up, kick out, hook, toe down, drop, serpent in the grass, and up, golden cockerel. Toe down, spin, hook, higher, split, down, veer to the right, set, up, golden cockerel. Heel down, hold your ball, heel out, right hand on the above the head, turn hips away, shuttle right. Sit back, lower, pivot out, hold your ball, heel out, above your forehead, shuttle left. Half step to the back, across your hips and waist, set up the top hand, needle to the bottom of the sea. One hand, join it by the next, then your foot, touch, extend the knee, flush arms like a fan. Sit back, lower, pivot, fist up and down on your toe, deflect, parry, punch, touch, roll back, sit down, sit back, out. Sit back, lower, pivot, open pivot, in pivot, modification, up, bring it in, push out. Drop your shoulders, make yourself small, flex your knees as you now close your form. Okay, how was that? Good? Catching on? Yeah, we still think about the places that we still need work on. But for now, you're doing good. Just kind of see it as an overview and then fill in the holes as time goes by, but don't wait too long. Start to practice right away while things are a little fresh in your mind.
Is trying to maintain your substantial, maybe a little bit more, to set the stage for going from substantial to insubstantial. And it's as simple as, for instance, we do commencing form, come down. We want to get to, and now it's 50-50, we're going to want to go to substantial. So what do? We hold our ball, okay? But the ball, the hands, one hand is coming this way, the other hand is coming this way. Both of them are trying to say, okay, time to move substantial, substantial. And this one says, yeah, come in. Okay, you're substantial. Now, when you go out again, you take your time, you're substantial, so you can put your insubstantial foot whatever you want. It just happens that we want to be going out in this direction. But it doesn't mean that you have to switch as soon as you get down, because your upper part of your body has something to do, right? We talk about the body, the hands going for the ride, but the hands have to do a certain thing, okay? So you have to give them time. So substantial, I've got myself, I came from here, got myself substantial. Out here, and then my hands start to move, and then my foot. You know, what comes to mind, I don't know how many women watch football, but the men may be able to relate to when they say, a running back runs downhill. Some guys run straight up. This guy runs downhill. His power is just not in an upright position, but he's running downhill. And after you've come from this position here, what you want to be able to do is run downhill. This comes down, but the action part that eventually will have to get out here to do its thing, the upper part of the body has to wait, or the feet have to wait until the body allows the arms to come forward. Okay, same thing, if we go back to brush knee. Okay, I've got myself from we're here. Okay, this is a white crane, okay? I'm going to get my, what am I doing? I'm coming, I'm going to come down the first go round, but I'm here, and I get my hand here. What happens? This helps me to set up substantial, okay? Now, as I come, my insubstantial moving, this keeps me here. I stay home, and it just happens in this case, the hands help me. Instead of having to do all the work and like that, I'm coming here. Hands say, you stay home. Now here, you stay home. But when I start to do this, I'm still staying home, but it gives me a chance to then shift my weight. So don't be in a rush to change from substantial to insubstantial. Sorry, from substantial to substantial. You go through substantial, set up your insubstantial, then you shift. And as you shift, the rest of your body, the upper and lower part of the body, start to work together a little bit. It's seemingly more apparent, right? Okay. Let's see. Well, I think I'll just give you a hint that although your initial concentration is stability, legs, feet, legs, dantian, and then from there, the waist transfer energy up and about. And we sort of say, we preach, at least, to try to get people more involved in using their core muscles and the central part of the body. We say the hands go for the ride, but the hands do help you. They give some back advice to help maintain this center. So as you do your Tai Chi, either with our instruction, or you may read, or you may feel a certain thing, and you say, hey, you know, when I move my hands a certain way, my body is right in terms of moving itself around. Those are the kinds of insights, personal insights, which help you progress. We just happen to have a bias that sometimes when you find it by yourself, seemingly, you say, wow, and it sticks a lot more up here.
So I want to go back for many of you about brush knee. So just watch it first. All right, this time I'm going to explain to you something, okay? Hands go for the ride. Hands go for the ride. When I finish spinning, when I finish turning my hips and waist, I am at my final destination. If my hands truly go for the ride, all I need to do is set them up. And the last stretching, maybe I could feel my hand slackening up or using some finishing touch to it. So if you just look at this hand, it turns when my body turns. It just doesn't come out here and then I decide my body turns. T, out on an L, turn. All together, T, turn. T, three things happen, three things happen, three things happen. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, turn here. Okay? Can we try that? We have just a couple minutes, okay? Going this way, going that way. Let's go forward, okay? Turn towards the road. You're on a T stance. You're gonna brush your knee. All together. Where's your energy? If you don't have any energy and you can't identify, you can't make that turn to brush your knee. So weight down, build that energy on the right foot. Here we go. L, turn hips and waist, brush knee. Sit back, lower. Pivot out. Parallel, higher, ear turn, brush knee 2. Sit back, lower. Pivot out. Ear toe, turn, brush knee 3. Half step forward. Sit back on your back foot, rock the front foot. Set it on its heel. Play your lute. Center, higher, glance. Where's your weight? Lift up. Security. Repulse 1. Center, look. Where's your weight? Lift up. Toe. Down. Pivot. Repulse 2. Center, glance. Lift up. Toe. Stretch out. Repulse 3. Last one. Don't forget to modify. Lift up. Toe, heel. Modify 3. Hold your ball on a T stance. We're going to ward off. Out on an L. Push your opponent away. Turn hips and waist. Allows you to then grasp the bird's tail. Contact. Then push, turn, roll back, spiral forward. Okay? Reposition. Let's close our form. Sit back, lower. Pivot. Open pivot. In pivot. Tuck the right hand, but rotate there. Come up. Chest in. Push out. Use your core. How do your hands go for the ride? Drop your shoulders, tuck your elbows, wrists, flex your knees. Shift your weight. Close your form. Okay? So all those smaller sensations, all those smaller elements, you apply them to all of Tai Chi. Okay? That's your big job that you're going to have to tackle. Okay? Good job.